Hello everybody, it's Jama Malmy and I have lots of layouts to share with you. There are 32 layouts here. Some of them are on my channel already with processes, some of them are not, and some of them have processes but I made them quite some time ago and I'm just now adding photos to them. So I've got 32 ideas to share with you. Let's go ahead and just jump on into it. Okay, this first layout is a one-page layout and I love how this turned out. This has a recent process video that I'll link down below, along with all the other process videos if they are available. This one shared ways to use busy patterned paper on your layouts, and it's also a collaboration with the creative design team. So there's lots of ideas to use busy patterned paper. And it also showed 4 ways to add this triangle background to your layout. So be sure to check that out because one of those ways is sure to work for you. This uses Close to My Heart's Sawyer collection. I love all the pretty colors I added from my stash and created all these fun dimensional layered pieces from the die cuts and stickers. Okay, now I have a 2-page layout to share with you, and I apologize for the glare, but you'll see why I've got this in the page protector in a moment. This layout uses lots of fun Cricut cuts. I used the Wander Cricut collection and the Stitch Together Cricut collection, which are exclusive from Close to My Heart, to create these fun layered trees and layered flowers. I used these same elements on a previous layout, which I have shared in a layout share, but I'll share it here in just a moment as well, to create those fun dimensional elements. And then over on this page, we've got an interactive flip-flap here. So I love Close to My Heart's flip-flaps. I will link these down in the description below because they are super unique and super popular. And I love that they allow you to add extra photos to your layouts without interrupting the overall design. So they're really easy to do, and later in this video I'm actually going to give you a quick demo on how to attach it to your pages. The process video for this shows way to balance color across this page, especially since I have some really bright pops of color, which is very unexpected in hiking photos, but I think it really works and it was really fun. So this was my inspiration layout, and I have shared this in a share before, but I just want to show you where the elements came from. I created this layout once, saved the design space file, and then I came back to it and just recut a lot of the same elements to create another layout. They're years apart, so you won't be able to tell that they're very similar, but even if they weren't, they have very different looks. This layout still makes me laugh, and it makes me happy that when I shared this process video, you guys let me know that you document potty training too. This cracked me up because my son loved going to the bathroom outside. So I created this fun layout with the layered flowers. I created this layout first and then came back months later to create a companion page. And so my process video shows tips to create a companion page to a single layout. I created the same clusters on this side, and then I added this poem that Mary Gunn wrote when I created this layout on her craft roulette game show. So she did give permission to use this, so in the comments of the other video, which I'll link below, there's a link to this poem, and so some people had asked if they could use it as well. If you can't read it here, you're going to have to go check that out because it is a hilarious poem. This next layout was the last layout in my last Kill a Kit series using Sweet Safari, which was a baby themed kit. And as you can see, this is definitely not baby themed. I used this polka dot paper over here to create a sports layout. I know people are always looking for ideas for sports layouts. They get pretty monotonous. So I love how this turned out, and you can use it for really any sport. Just switch out the embellishments from baseballs to basketballs or soccer balls. And this idea could work for so many things. I love the stars because they're just so versatile. So I hope that this idea helps you. This is a single page layout that began as a kit, and I'm actually going to have a few layouts here coming up that are from kits. I love working with kits because they make it really easy to start. This whole background, well, not the whole background, but a lot of the background is pre-printed. So I had my base page already. It came with die cuts to use, except for these blue ones. And then it comes with a picture of what the design is supposed to look like. So I use that as a jumping off point. I create my own spin on things. And on this one, I showed how I brought in these blue leaves from some dies that I had to tie in my husband's shirt to create that visual triangle and cohesiveness, bringing in this color. And I think it really added a lot to this layout. There is a process for this. Here's another single page layout from a kit. I've got lots of other layouts coming that are not from kits, but I just wanted to share these few because I do enjoy working from kits and wanted to show you how quick and easy they can be. So this is how this kit came. It is supposed to be a calendar kit. So there's 13 layouts in here, including a cover page that's supposed to be the cover of the calendar. But I use these just as scrapbook pages, and I kind of merge this one single layout into two. And so I'll show you the other page in a moment, but I wanted to point out a couple of things with this one. I changed my photos. So instead of the two 4x6s, I've got 3x4s. And I also removed the title because my title is on the other side. And I also wanted to note that there are some really good ideas in these kit layouts, like dividing it in half diagonally, and I showed you how you can do this in the previous video that I linked for that one with the 4 triangles in the background. It would be the same idea because it's too long to cut on a regular paper trimmer, but that's a really cool effect, and there's lots of really great ideas in these kits that you can use on other layouts as well. So let's bring in this companion page. I have already shared this in another share, but wanted to show you now that it has the companion page. So the title's over here, so I didn't need it on this side, and it had this banner going across, and so I pulled that all the way across on this side too, so you can see this didn't have that originally. So that helped it make it a cohesive layout, even though they are just slightly different colors. The color palettes overall are very similar, and then they also have some repeating elements in the stars. And then I also added some silver glitter gems to both sides to also help it make it cohesive. So even though they're very different, they have a lot of similar elements that make them work together. This is a calendar kit layout as well, but I think this is a great example of using the kit as a jumping off point and enhancing it and making it your own. So here is the original. I think the first thing that's the most noticeable is I added this pop of pink cardstock behind the photo. I think that really makes the photo pop a lot more. I added this little embroidery thread loop around the tag so that it wasn't naked. And I added this daughter sticker to create my own title, Happy Daughter, and added a few little other embellishments and sequins from my stash, as well as some shimmer brush splatter, which is one of my go-to techniques. I wanted to point out that there are die cuts that come in the kit that you can add to make dimension pop dotted onto your layout, and that is something that is common in all of the kits. There's a lot of layering things usually to help add dimension, but I really like how that turned out and made a really quick, fun background without the work. All right, this is the last kit layout I'm sharing, and then we're getting into some pretty extravagant layouts. So this is how this one began, and you can see the similarities. I changed up the photos, and then I also added some white splatter in the background, and that really helped to soften that dark background. Again, I apologize for the glare. I have a flip flap here, and this documents the story of my daughter and I going to the store to use the money she earned to buy her very first Lego friend set, which started a whole thing and obsession with Lego friends. But it started to torrential downpour when we were on our way out of the store. So she took off her dress and is topless, which is why she's covered up here. But this documents the story. I've got a flip flap with the hidden journaling and a picture of that storm brewing in our neighborhood. So this was a fun layout to put together. Again, quick, but added my own flair on top of what the kit gave me. This is one of my all-time favorite layouts. Now these next layouts I'm going to be sharing are ones that I've had done for months and some of them years and just didn't have photos on them. So I went through and printed a whole bunch of photos because I recently got the PictureMate 400 printer. I absolutely love it. I highly, highly recommend it. I'll link it down below if you haven't heard of that or are thinking about it. I really love it because I went through in 2 nights and added all the photos to the layouts you're going to see coming up. So this one is in a page protector still because I wanted to show you the flip flaps. I wanted to show you how I created this little card and added it to my layout. So real quickly, I'm showing you here, I used some pocket cards. One of them was oriented the wrong way, but I really wanted to use that sentiment. So I used a die to cut it out and then mount it onto a different coordinating card, and then stuck it into that flap and adhered it to my page. I have lots of layouts on my channel showing you how to add flip flaps in various ways to your layouts. I highly recommend flip flaps. They are so unique and so fun, and as I mentioned, a great way to add more photos to your layouts without disrupting the overall design. And since I had this layout already created, I had to work with the spots that I had for photos. So this was the perfect solution. Now, I apologize for the glare over here, but I did leave this one out of the page protector because I wanted to try and catch some of that shimmer. I added clear shimmer brush to all of these colored leaves over here. This is what the shimmer brush looks like. It comes in lots of different colors, but the clear is my favorite. It's very versatile. You just brush on the color and it gives a very subtle, beautiful shine to your layouts. So I still need to do my journaling, and then I'll add the date up here, but wanted to show you this. These are some recent photos that we took hiking, and they just ended up working perfectly on this layout. I created this layout over a year ago, and it was for Close to My Heart's launch event. Every catalog launch, they have an event with pre-designed layouts and cards. It's a really great perk of being a maker, and you can either copy them exactly, they give you cutting guides and everything, or make them your own. And I followed them pretty closely because I didn't add my photos. And that's the beauty of having my at-home printer now, is that I can print the photos in the sizes that I need for my pre-designed layouts. I don't do photos without layouts very often, but when I do, that was definitely a perk. So this has some fun dimensional acrylic shapes on it. I love those, and I love the more like pink and orange and yellow color scheme of these layouts. It worked great for my daughter's birthday last year. And then you're going to see here in this next layout, it uses the same paper collection. You can kind of get that hint, but it's a lot different colors. So we added some blue and gave it a much different look. This is a die cut that I believe is still available that I used as my title. Added a lot of the stickers and some of those acrylic shapes again. Look at this fun holographic paper. I think the light is catching that pretty well. I really love using holographic paper. It's like fun, unexpected pop in your layouts. In fact, I need to do that more. Here's the last birthday layout I created for that launch. I changed this up just a little bit to suit my tastes, but it gives a much different look with that paper collection. Again, it's the same paper collection. And I love the technique of ripping the paper along the top and the bottom. It just gives a lot of really fun visual interest. And then we cut some of these pieces at a diagonal to add some more visual interest. And this was supposed to be another little photo, but I didn't have another photo, so I just covered it all with that fun paper. Here's another 2-page layout, and again, I apologize for the glare, but I'm going to show you the flip-flops in a moment. This was for another one of Close to My Heart's launch events, and they gave the instructions for this. I changed it up just a little bit because I can't help it. I always do. But what I love about this is that you've got these strips that look like they're going all the way across to provide that cohesive look across the page, but I actually cut them just to go. They're only like this long and then this long. So this is a great idea for using your scraps. And then over here we've got some added dimension with the wood shapes all over and some layered embellishments. These are stickers that have 3D foam under them. And check out this flip flap. 1, 2. You can actually layer your flip flaps together. So I've got all of these photos in this small little real estate on my photo or on my layout, and then over here I've got the one flip flap for that extra photo. So this was a really fun layout to do. Now I'm going to get into some Cricut layouts. Now, Close to My Heart has several Cricut collections out that are exclusive to us that you have to purchase through a Maker's affiliate link, and this is one of those. This layout comes totally pre-designed. So I do have a process video on putting this together, and I will link to that below, but I just added my photos to this. I think this was for the Everyday Moments Cricut collection. I will confirm that in the description box below. But when you go to my affiliate link, it brings you to all of Close to My Heart's Cricut collections. So I will distinguish which one this is and then also link to the process video. But I love these photos of my dog who's just living her best life in the snow, and my daughter licking the snow, and she just had the best time in the snow. And so I thought it was perfect for this Daydream layout because they really were daydreaming. Here's another Cricut collection. This is from Complete Creativity. This is another one I created for convention example artwork and hadn't added the photos, so I went back and added these photos from 2014 when my daughter had her very first candy on Halloween at my husband's work party. So this was really fun. I love the bats, how they have that added dimension there. There is a process video for this, so I will link that down in the description below. Again, this is another one of those pre-designed layouts that when you open it up from the Cricut collection, it's all there for you. I don't think I even altered this at all. I just put it together. Here's another Cricut collection that came from Complete Creativity, another one that I created for convention artwork, so I hadn't added photos, but I went back and these photos from 2016 worked perfectly. In this process video, which I will link below, I showed how you can take that full pre-designed layout and change it up just a little bit. I think there's supposed to be one photo over here, I added these other small photos, rearranged some of these things a little bit to work for me because I do like to add more photos to my layouts. So again, Complete Creativity. And by the way, if you do purchase the Cricut collections, Complete Creativity, Everyday Moments, those are the ones I've created the most with. And when you purchase them from me, I share my files with you. So I don't get a notification when you purchase, so if you go to my Cricut affiliate link and you do purchase any of these collections, then shoot me an email or comment below so that I know, and then I can share my files with you. Here's another layout that I created using the Complete Creativity collection. This is the very first layout I created with that collection and had a lot of fun with it. I created it just exactly as designed and indicated in the design file. So I went back recently and just added all of these photos, and I think that it ended up looking really cute. All right, I've got 3 more layouts to share with you, and they are all title pages. So I'm going to show you 3 ways that I like to add a title page to my layout. And now looking at this, I just realized I need to add the year here. So this is going to be my 2018 title page, the very first page in my scrapbook. And I created this using the Complete Creativity Cricut collection. I created it mostly as designed. I changed it up a little bit. There is a process video for this, so I'll link that down below. But I added the photo that we used in our Christmas cards, and then of course it'll have the title up, or the year up above there. And this said Lovely, I think, in the original file, and I just changed it to our last name using Cricut Design Space. This next title idea comes from the scrapbooking kits. This is supposed to be that title page of the calendar I showed you earlier. This is a very, very simplified title page. Sometimes that's all you need. I think I'm just going to add a few splatters now. Looking back on this, I want to add a few splatters, but I like to choose one photo that kind of represents the year. This year is when we moved, a big move from Oregon to Indiana. So I used that photo that was the day we left on our drive from Oregon to Indiana, and that's going to represent this album. Now we're going to bounce back to 2017. This has a process video, and I love this wow factor that a 12 by 12 print makes. Persnickety Prints will create 12 by 12 prints. And they're only $1.99. They're so inexpensive. You can order them with your regular prints, and it's just so fun. So this one, I took our Christmas card photo and I just added the year and a few little embellishments and then called it good. So if you want more information on this print and how to do this, I'll link to the process video down below. But this just adds such a cool statement in your title. So this is all just flat. I don't have any dimension except for just gluing the cardstock and stickers onto the page, but that was just really fun. All right, well, that's a wrap. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you got lots of ideas for your own scrapbooking. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite layout, or what are your favorite layouts? And do you like the Cricut? Do you like the kits? Do you like when I just take a paper pack and cut it and make my own thing? I'd love to know what you prefer. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so YouTube can spread it to more people, and consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any upcoming scrapbooking content. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a wonderful day.